a handsome jewelry designer who has inherited the family business and has a passion for racing, awaits an interview. Unbeknownst to him, the interview will take an unexpected turn. Jingshuan, an artist struggling financially and secretly selling fake necklaces, watches his interview. During the interview, Jinchul confidently states his intolerance for lies and deception. Intending to sell a fake necklace to an unsuspecting man, Jingshuan claims it was designed by the famous designer Jinchul. She uses tears and emotional blackmail in her attempt to sell the necklace, not realizing the man is actually Jinchul's companion, who has been summoned to the location. When Jinchul catches her trying to escape, the necklace's true nature is revealed. Surrounded by security in the men's washroom, Jingshuan encounters Jinchul, who is showering, unaware of the situation. Caught by Jinchul, Jingshuan pleads for mercy, claiming her mother is in the ICU. Moved by her story, Jinchul deceives the security team and helps her escape in his racing car. However, he innocently stops the car in front of the police, leading Jingshuan to feel betrayed and curse him. Jinchul's family life is then revealed, with tensions arising from his stepmother and stepbrother's desire to take over the company. Despite the internal conflict, his uncle Wang remains supportive. Jinchul receives an award for his best-selling design, while Jingshuan is caught and jailed. Her boyfriend visits her in jail, promising a future together once she is released. Jingshuan vows to change for a peaceful life, but harbors anger towards Jinchul, believing her curses affect him. Jinchul finds solace in his girlfriend Kanao, who assures him of her support. However, Uncle Wang warns Jinchul of Kanao's insincerity. Jinchul discovers Kanao's infidelity with his stepbrother Chunyu. Kanao follows Jinchul, revealing she chose Chunyu for stability. Chunyu expresses his true love for Kanao and his desire to marry her, while Jinchul is left tormented by the betrayal. Deciding to leave due to his upset state, Jinchul spends a year in Italy. During his absence, Jingshuan exhibits good behavior in jail, which the jailer notices, leading to a reduction of her sentence by 2 months. Despite being in Europe, Jinchul does not abandon jewelry design, and his designs gain fame, winning several awards. His uncle presents this achievement to all the shareholders. His jealous stepmom, fearing he would become a threat to their takeover of the company, hatches a plan to get rid of Jinchul. Jinchul sees a necklace belonging to his mother, now claimed by his stepmom, in the news. He decides to return and reclaim the necklace at all costs. Meanwhile, Jingshuan is granted an early release from jail and visits the dream house they liked. However, she discovers that her boyfriend has cheated, married, and is living there with his wife. The wife delivers insults and a slap to Jingshuan, but Jingshuan directs her anger at her ex-boyfriend, hitting him and issuing a warning. On the same day, Chunyu's wedding ceremony with Kanao took place, during which the stepmom wore the 100 diamond necklace. She expressed trust in its security, but it was merely for show. The plan was to take the necklace from Kanao after the ceremony. Upon his arrival, Jinchul snatched the necklace and tied up Kanao before fleeing. The stepmom revealed that this had been her plan all along, to have Jinchul commit the crime and be caught by the police. Uncle Wang, who overheard the plan, warned Jinchul and offered him an escape route. A collision in the hotel caused Jinchul to drop the necklace, and Jingshuan, accusing him of ruining her life, slapped him. Security arrived, and during the ensuing scuffle, Jinchul and Jingshuan were handcuffed together. They had to cooperate to fend off the security guards. Jingshuan demanded that Jinchul be caught, but she calmed down when Uncle Wang promised a reward for his safe escape. Jingshuan struck a deal to save Jinchul for 2 lakhs. They evaded the guards' cars and made their escape. They entered a dress shop to hide, maintaining close proximity to conceal the handcuffs. Jingshuan refused to remove her jacket due to the revealing nature of her dress, and Jinchul suggested they hold hands. As they walked, Uncle sent money, and a disagreement ensued between Jingshuan and Jinchul over who should keep it. Ultimately, Jinchul kept the money. They needed to travel to Jingshuan's hometown for refuge. While being pursued, Uncle's men also arrived there. However, Jinchul managed to escape in a car. With only 2 seconds to spare before a train passed, he drove away, using his skills as a famous car racer. Unaccustomed to such perilous adventures, Jingshuan began to feel suffocated. Jinchul calmed her down by holding her hand and instructing her to look at him and count. He also gave her water and food. Realizing their fates were intertwined, Jinchul wanted them to understand each other better. Jingshuan shared that she had faced hardships since her mother's death at age 7 and had become a con artist. Her boyfriend had deceived her and left. Learning that Jinchul had also experienced a childhood accident resulting in the loss of his parents, she felt a connection to his story. Their time spent together brought them closer, despite their previous animosity. At night, they rented a room, pretending to be lovers to avoid suspicion. They tried to break their handcuffs with various tools provided by the aunt, but were unsuccessful. Forced to sleep closely because of the handcuffs, Jingshuan managed to rest, while Jinchul struggled to sleep. The following morning, Jingshuan urgently needed the bathroom. Impressed by her request, Jinchul complied. Jingshuan covered her face with a towel and instructed Jinchul to cover his ears. During this, this, a snake bit them. Jinchul took Jingshuan outside, where a video of the incident was recorded and went viral. At the hospital, Jingshuan's life was saved thanks to their simultaneous arrival. Jinchul stayed by her side, fasting and vigilant. Upon regaining consciousness, Jingshuan was informed by the doctor of Jinchul's care. Meanwhile, Jinchul learned that their video had gone viral, prompting his brother to send robbers to their hotel. They attempted to flee in their car but were attacked by the robbers. Their car was damaged and abandoned in the jungle. Hiding for their lives, Jinchul contacted his uncle Wang, considering involving the police due to the gun attack. His phone battery then died. Surrounded and in possession of the team's goods, they managed to disarm a robber and escape. They experienced moments of feeling special together. With a gun but no bullets, they sought to break their handcuffs. Spotting a passing car, they followed it discreetly. Through the forest, Jingshuan and Jinchul escaped from the robbers. Happiness was expressed by Jingshuan, who mentioned their repeated escapes from death as a sign of them being good partners. The agreement was felt by Jinchul, but admission was too shy for him. A decision was made by Jingshuan and Light to support each other, even after being freed from handcuffs. A warning was given by Uncle Wang to the stepmom about his silence and the wrongdoings he had observed. A choice was made by him to support Jinchul over the company, out of love for his parents. Money was given to the van driver by Jingshuan to be dropped off at a village near the border, which was Jingshuan's hometown. Jingshuan fell asleep in Jinchul's lap, and Jinchul took care of her. Meanwhile, an accident occurred involving Uncle Wang due to a truck collision orchestrated by the stepmom. Upon reaching her village, Jingshuan was dropped off and attempted to hide from some villagers. Fear and secrets were inquired about by Jinchul, to which Jingshuan confessed her past actions against the villagers and her subsequent deception. Anger was shown by Jinchul, who urged her to confront the issue and offered his support, even if it led to police involvement. The deception was revealed by Young-soo, who pretended to help but instead announced Jingshuan's presence in the village. Capture was attempted by the villagers, but intervention was made by a childhood friend of Jingshuan, who pleaded for her to be heard. An apology was offered by Jingshuan to the villagers, promising to repay the money. Arguments were started by the villagers, but a plea for mercy was made by Jinchul, highlighting Jingshuan's time served in jail and her desire to improve. Assistance was requested by him for those seeking to better themselves. It was revealed by the stepmother that feelings for Jinchul might still be harbored by Kanao. A hidden camera had been installed in her room on her wedding day, which now provided evidence that resistance was not shown by her when Jinchul was close and took the necklace. A threat was issued by the stepmother to Kanao, stating that the video would be shown to her son if Kanao did not obey her and follow her instructions. In the village, with the assistance of the villagers, handcuffs were finally removed from both Jinchul and John, setting them free. Jingshuan wore a local dress, in which she looked very beautiful. Jinchul wanted to give a compliment, but he remained silent. Jingshuan gave clothes to Jinchul, suggesting he take a bath and freshen up. The handcuffs were looked at by her, to which she had become quite attached. Upon Jinchul's arrival from above, she immediately hid, not wanting to reveal her growing affection for him. However, when she approached him, she informed Jinchul that she had spoken to Young-soo, who would take Jinchul away from the village the next day. She had saved him, and he should continue his work while she remained there. She also expressed gratitude to Jinchul, acknowledging that without his intervention, she would not have faced consequences and transformed into a better person. Jinchul played a prank that resulted in a mosquito net falling on both of them, bringing them physically close as they tried to avoid it. He bid her good night, and they both went to sleep. Meanwhile, Chunyu discovered that Jinchul was with a girl named Jingshuan, and they now knew details about her boyfriend and his whereabouts. As Jinchul prepared to leave the village, he didn't disturb her, but simply looked at her before departing. She woke up in a hurry, watching him leave, silently bidding him farewell with her eyes. 2 days earlier, two strangers had become close friends, reluctant to part ways. Jinchul's phone was damaged during a fight, leading him to pawn his watch for 1 lakh to buy a racing car. Kanao and Chunyu visited Sungwoo's house, inquiring about a girl's village. However, Sungwoo misled them, suspecting that she had returned to her village. Sungwoo's attempt to warn her resulted in a confrontation with his wife, leading to her falling down the stairs. Jingshuan misled the villagers about hidden money, triggering a chase when the money was discovered missing. The villain Taoxiu kidnapped Jingshuan. Keeping his promise, Jinchul returned to rescue her. Despite Taoxiu's attempts to harm her, Jingshuan resisted. Jinchul arrived with the villagers, revealing Taoxiu as a loan shark threatening their homes. Taoxiu challenged Jinchul to a race, with Jingshuan's freedom and the villagers' debts at stake. Jinchul wagered his pawned watch against Taoxiu's demands. The race began, and Jingshuan signaled Jinchul about impending danger. He outmaneuvered Taoxiu, who accused him of cheating. Jinchul threatened legal action against Taoxiu for attempted murder. The village celebrated their freedom from debt, and Jingshuan, now a better person, refused Jinchul's money, valuing his help more. She advised him to secure his precious necklace by hiding it under a seat. In Bangkok, Jinchul was given less work due to increased danger. He did not not wish to involve Jingshuan, but as he was leaving, she requested his number. Anticipating this, Jinchul happily provided his card. Meanwhile, Uncle Wong regained consciousness and overheard the stepmother's corrupt plans. At a board meeting, the police arrived with evidence of corruption, leading to the stepmother's arrest. While traveling, Jinchul was ambushed by Taoxiu's men, shot, and thrown off a cliff. His car was discovered by passers-by, but Jinchul was missing. Villagers, including Jingshuan, searched for him, finding only his necklace. Injured and delirious, Jinchul was eventually found by Jingshuan, who brought him to a hospital. The doctor confirmed that Jingshuan's timely intervention had saved Jinchul's life. In another scene, Sungwoo learns of his wife's death and his premature baby's need for heart surgery. Desperate for money, he revealed Jingshuan's location to Kanao. Jingsuan's care for Jinchul sparked rumors of affection, which she acknowledged but deemed a relationship impossible due to their different social standings. Upon regaining consciousness, Jinchul expressed gratitude to Jingsuan for saving his life and preserving his mother's necklace. Chunyu's men, searching for Jingsuan, were misled by her friends. Still in danger, Jinchul contacted Uncle Wong for help. Also hospitalized, Uncle Wong assured Jinchul that assistance was on the way. The driver was being informed of various locations when Kanao, who had been eavesdropping, realized that her robbers were already in the village and would soon arrive at the hospital. Upon reaching the hospital, the robbers entered Jinchul's room searching for him, but he had already concealed himself. Jingshuan, who had arrived to visit Jinchul, became frightened upon seeing the robbers, who pursued her after seizing the money. While fleeing, Jinchul, who was hidden nearby, beckoned them to safety. They remained hidden briefly before deciding the location was unsafe and left to continue their story. They managed to exit and sought a lift in a car, unaware that it belonged to the robbers' associates. Instead of being taken to the village, they were kidnapped and brought to a location chosen by the kidnappers. It was revealed that the kidnappers were associated with Taoxiu's father, who sought to capture Jingshuan for scamming him and tarnishing his and his son's honor. The robbers, seeking revenge for the dishonor caused by Jinchul in the village, attacked him. Jingshuan intervened, offering herself as the target to protect Jinchul. It was at this moment that Jinchul realized his love for Jingshuan. His friends arrived just in time to assist in their escape by evading the robbers' gunfire. Jingshuan then resolved to retreat to her mother's house in the jungle. Meanwhile, Chunyu instructed his men to avoid direct conflict with Jinchul and instead engage evil forces and goons to handle the situation. Toward the jungle, Jingshuan and Jinchul were headed, with Jingshuan feeling worried about Jinchul, who was bleeding. By evening, they reached the secluded place known only to Mimiko and possibly Sungwoo, where Jingshuan shared her past reliance on Sungwoo after her parents' death. She expressed gratitude to Jinchul for making her a better person. Jingshuan tidied the house while Jinchul attempted to dress his wound. Jingshuan felt shy upon seeing Jinchul shirtless and enjoyed the scene. Jingshuan nearly fell, but Jinchul caught her. Jinchul expressed his feelings, but he disapproved, seeing no match between them. Jingshuan prepared food for Jinchul, during which time he did not shy away from showing affection. Jingshuan sought water, followed by Jinchul, leading to a playful fall into the water and a kiss, for which Jingshuan was unprepared. Meanwhile, Uncle Wong's discharge was anticipated by Kanao, who sought to uncover secrets. Uncle Wong cunningly revealed that the love diamond necklace was to be sold by the mother-in-law. The stepmom accused Kanao of cunning, suggesting future betrayal. Jingshuan made food for Jinchul and fed him. She attempted to persuade Jinchul to let go of his hatred towards his stepmom, emphasizing life's brevity. A fever caused Jinchul to faint, and Jingshuan cared for him throughout the night. Jinchul recovered over a few days, but a nightmare of Jingsuan being shot startled him. Despite the perceived impossibilities due to their backgrounds, both confessed their love. Jinchul proposed, valuing loyalty over status. They spent a lovely night together, while a conflict ignited by Uncle Wong escalated between the stepmom and Kanao, with the outcome left to time. Chunyu's men arrived at Taoxiu and discovered that to locate Jingshuan, they must interrogate her best friend, who likely knew of her whereabouts. Consequently, Mimiko's family was taken hostage and she was abducted. The kidnappers blackmailed her, demanding that she lure Jinchul and Jingshuan out of their house without arousing any suspicion of their presence outside. Subsequently, Mimiko proceeded to the house and encountered Jingshuan, who was in tears. Through subtle expressions, Jingshuan conveyed a message to Mimiko, who, being very intelligent, deciphered it. Mimiko feigned compliance, claiming she would bring Jinchul out so they could leave together. However, once inside, she informed Jinchul that she had been blackmailed into coming there. Jingshuan then entered and expressed her shock to Jinchul about Mimiko's forced arrival. They secretly observed and identified their watchers as Taoxiu's guards. Jingshuan devised a plan, instructing Jinchul to escape in the car while she and Mimiko distracted the guards. Despite his initial reluctance, Jinchul was persuaded by Jingshuan's insistence. As Jingshuan and Mimiko led the robbers toward the jungle, a gunshot was fired, striking Mimiko. Meanwhile, Jinchul seized the opportunity to flee in the car. Hearing the car, one robber pursued Jinchul, who managed to evade and incapacitate him with a stick. Despite the circumstances, Jinchul compassionately checked on the unconscious man. During this time, Chunyu called Jinchul's phone, which Jinchul answered. Chunyu expressed his desire to avoid conflict and proposed a meeting in Bangkok with Jinchul and his stepmother. The scene shifted to Bangkok, where Kanao defied her stepmother's blackmail attempts. She boldly challenged her stepmother to reveal the videos to her son immediately instead of using them for blackmail. Upon Kanao's insistence, Chunyu's mother showed him the video, revealing Kanao kissing Jinchul on his wedding day. This revelation deeply hurt Chunyu, who was seen crying. Meanwhile, Mimiko and Jingshuan were apprehended by Taoxiu, who harbored resentment towards Jinchul for injuring his father during a previous altercation. Taoxiu kidnapped Jingshuan and instructed Mimiko to convey a message to Jinchul if she found him, allowing her to take Jingshuan with her. Taoxiu's car was followed by Jinchul after a discovery. Jinchul's car nearly had an accident when Taoxiu hit it, sending it into the abyss. Taoxiu completed his revenge and then left the scene. Meanwhile, Jingshuan was found crying by her friends who had just arrived. The robber learned about the accident involving Jinchul and joyfully informed Chunyu that Jinchul would be paralyzed even if he survived. Jinchul, whose condition was critical, required hospitalization. A nurse retrieved a diamond necklace from Jinchul's pocket and gave it to Jingshuan, urging her to pray for him. Kanao felt worried upon hearing of Jinchul's accident because she had married Chunyu for wealth and power, yet Jinchul remained in her heart. Mimiko, who was also at the hospital and had slightly improved, visited Jump, distressed over Jinchul's suffering. Jingshuan later met Uncle Wong and handed him the diamond necklace, signifying Jinchul's trust. Uncle Wong expressed gratitude and rewarded her with a check, despite her reluctance to accept it. Uncle Wong took Jinchul to Bangkok for better treatment, where he underwent surgery but remained in a coma, necessitating ICU care. Uncle Wong secretly observed a kiss on the forehead from Jingshuan to Jinchul, indicating their love. After Jingshuan's departure, Uncle Wong confronted Kanao, reminding her of her choice to marry Chunyu over Jinchul, a decision for which she accepted responsibility. To provoke jealousy, Uncle Wong falsely claimed Jinchul had found someone else. Uncle Wong hinted at a working relationship with Kanao, with potential collaboration in the future. Uncle Wong confessed to his assistant his distrust in Kanao, but admitted to potential cooperation if necessary. During a shopping trip, Jingshuan spotted a lucky stone and considered purchasing it for her boyfriend. It was discovered that the stone could grant wishes when prayed over during a full moon. Concurrently, Jinchul's health deteriorated, but as Jingshuan prayed with the stone, his condition stabilized. Meanwhile, Kanao returned home to find Chunyu waiting, which led to a heated argument between them. Kanao suggested a divorce, which Chunyu refused, accusing her of seeking alimony. The following day, Jingshuan visited the hospital and gifted Jinchul a bracelet she'd crafted from the lucky stone. As they awaited Jinchul's recovery, a reporter investigated their relationship, prompting villagers to mistakenly affirm a romantic connection and Jinchul's financial aid to them. This misunderstanding escalated to a board meeting where Jingshuan's past as a seller of counterfeit jewelry was discussed, tarnishing the company's reputation and her own. Amidst this turmoil, Uncle Wong summoned Jingshuan to the company, revealing its success and Jinchul's future as chairman. He impressed upon her the importance of the company's credibility, which was now jeopardized by her presence. Wong proposed a press conference to publicly deny her relationship with Jinchul, suggesting they could reunite once the controversy subsided. Upon learning of Wong's intervention, Chunyu became enraged and began to scheme. The hospital was visited by Jingshuan the next day to meet Jinchul, unaware that their meeting would be prolonged due to their need to conceal their relationship from the media. Upon her departure, it was revealed that Jinchul had regained consciousness. Subsequently, Jingshuan attended a press conference with Uncle Wong, where she was bombarded with questions by reporters. Despite the probing, she maintained that there was no romantic involvement with Jinchul, attributing his actions to kindness and humanity. However, reporters sent by Kanao posed challenging questions and demanded a sworn statement denying any future relationship between Jingshuan and Jinchul. In an attempt to protect Jinchul, Jingshuan complied, but the situation escalated when the stepmother intervened, claiming Jingshuan was dishonest and presenting a video of Jinchul in the hospital expressing his love for Jingshuan. The revelation caused a commotion, leading Uncle Wong to escort Jingshuan away amidst a frenzy of reporters. In a moment of anger, Jingshuan declared her beauty and reiterated Jinchul's kindness, suggesting his feelings stemmed from pity due to her past incarceration. Jinchul, witnessing the video from the hospital, was deeply saddened and attempted to contact Jingshuan to no avail. Uncle Wang, furious with Jingshuan, criticized her actions and warned of Chunyu's relentless pursuit through the media. He urged Jingshuan to permanently exit Jinchul's life, a notion that brought her to tears as she had believed the separation would be temporary. A call informed Jingshuan of her friend Mimiko's critical condition, afflicted with a spreading infection that threatened paralysis. Seizing the opportunity, Uncle Wang offered a substantial settlement and medical assistance for Mimiko in exchange for Jingshuan's permanent departure from Jinchul's life. Despite her initial refusal, Uncle Wang persuaded her by highlighting the benefits for Jinchul's future and Mimiko's health. Reluctantly, Jingshuan accepted the 5 million offered and was assured that Uncle Wang would speak unfavorably of her to Jinchul, though it would be untrue. Uncle Wang then confronted Jinchul, claiming Jingshuan had accepted the money to leave his life. Skeptical, Jinchul was presented with recordings from the driving cam, where Jingshuan discussed her desire for a better life and her previous decision against love. Meanwhile, Kanao confided in Uncle Sakta, revealing her awareness of their scheme but choosing to remain complicit. Jinchul, fixated on a bracelet given by Jingshuan, reflected on the recent events. Jingshuan, ordered to remove herself from Jinchul's life, visited the hospital one last time in disguise. Overcome with emotion, she wept beside the sleeping Jinchul, lamenting her past and wishing for a different life that would allow her to be with him. After a heartfelt farewell, she departed, carrying only memories of Jinchul. Initially, Jingshuan had visited the frontier hospital to support Mimiko, who had been injured while protecting Jingshuan. The narrative then shifted to Bangkok, where Chunyu and his mother were dining. Kanao's remarks about the stepmother's temporary chairperson role and Jinchul's impending ascension prompted an angry reaction, but they soon realized the truth behind her words. It was discovered that Kanao had joined forces with Uncle Wang, and they had apprehended the robbers Chunyu had assigned to assassinate Jinchul. The culprits confessed to the police. Kanao expressed her intention to report everything she knew to the authorities. Uncle Wang presented stepmom with an ultimatum: resign as chairperson or face police action and public scandal due to her company shares. The imminent arrival of the police prompted stepmom to relinquish her role, yet she maintained her shareholder status as leverage. At the hospital, news of stepmom's resignation, allegedly due to health reasons, reached Jinchul. Uncle Wang reassured him, emphasizing his takeover of her father's company. Concurrently, Taoxiu's father was detained for smuggling, observed by Taoxiu from hiding. Jingshuan disclosed her location to Taoxiu, leading to his arrest by the police and her friends that night, avenging Jinchul's murder. Jinchul, dealing with paralysis in his right hand, underwent rehabilitation. Jingshuan, desiring a fresh start, relocated to a remote island, opened a shop, and adopted the name Anna. Despite Jinchul's recovery and longing for Jingshuan, Uncle Wang withheld her whereabouts. Kanao decided to exit Chunyu's life, offering divorce papers, which he destroyed. After her departure, Chunyu grieved, counseled by his mother to remain strong. Jingshuan's shop struggled, and her identity as Anna remained a secret. Jinchul's unexpected visit led to Chongchung's deception, claiming ignorance of Jingshuan's location. Chongchung later informed Jingshuan of Jinchul's visit, causing her distress. Chunyu and Kanao reconciled after he convinced her of his love. Jinchul resumed jewelry design, creating a piece symbolizing his feelings for Jingshuan. The design faced opposition at the board meeting, with stepmom and Chunyu denouncing it. A confrontation ensued, and Jinchul ceded his chairman role to his uncle. Dongsuk, a celebrity on vacation, purchased a bracelet from Jingshuan's shop, planning to share it with fans. Meanwhile, Jinchul mistook another girl for Jingshuan. Dongsuk expressed admiration for Jingshuan's designs, offering business support. Her designs gained popularity on social media, inspiring Kanao. Jinchul's pursuit of Jingshuan continued, fueled by his belief in their connection. Uncle Wang and Kanao decided to approach Jinchul with a proposal for a new subdivision within his company, aimed at creating jewelry for the middle class. Collaboration with Dong. The following day, Jinchul was seen waiting outside the shooting location, intent on following Dongsuk to finally meet Jingshuan. The pursuit continued to an island where Jinchul had followed Dongsuk. The narrative then shifts to Mr. Dongsuk, who arrives at Jingshuan's shop with her favorite dish, confronting her with the knowledge of her true identity as Jingshuan, not Anna. He knew he was well acquainted with her. At the press conference, he stated that he had deliberately left Jinchul to save him and asked if her declarations were truthful and if she still harbored love for him. This question brought Jingshuan to tears, and she admitted that her love for him was genuine, which was why she had left. Subsequently, they closed the shop after discussing the next orders, and during this time, Jinchul searched for Jingshuan's shop all over the island. Despite his inquiries, her whereabouts were unknown to the people. He obtained the address of a handcraft shop after showing his bracelet and asking if such a shop existed there. He offered a large sum of money to be taken to the shop, but upon his arrival, he discovered it was closed. The lady from the neighboring shop confirmed the girl in the photo was the shop owner, although she did not know her residence. However, she suggested that Jingshuan might live in the nearby community area. Jin-chul extensively searched the community, but no one was aware of her. An idea struck him, recalling her fondness for condensed milk, a food she could not live without. He decided to wait for her at the superstore or inquire about her there. Unfortunately, the store boy, who was new that day, had not seen Jingxuan. Jin-chul roamed the community searching for Jingxuan, but she was not found. Meanwhile, Mr. Dong-suk suggested the expansion of her company to Jingxuan, advising her to focus on designing and delegate the work to others due to a significant opportunity he had brought her. He explained the approach by Paradise Jewelry, Jin-chul's company, and their board of directors had approved the creation of a word division. However, Jingxuan declined the offer, expressing her unwillingness to re-enter Jin-chul's life. Mr. Dong-suk emphasized the importance of the opportunity for her future, encouraging her to think beyond the small store. After refreshing herself, they had dinner. In the evening, Jingxuan discovered the depletion of her favorite food, condensed milk, prompting her to visit the store. As she picked up the product, she unexpectedly found Jin-chul standing behind her. He acknowledged her deliberate distance to protect his company from any harm due to her background. Shocked by his presence, she pushed him and fled. Jin-chul pursued her, insisting that she could not escape and demanded the truth. She told another falsehood, claiming uncertainty about his recovery from an accident and the possibility of paralysis, which led her to choose a better future with Uncle Wong's financial aid. Jin-chul, deeply hurt by her words, affirmed his knowledge of her true nature, despite their brief relationship, and attempted to demonstrate his love for her through a kiss. As she tried to leave, Jin-chul attempted to stop her, which was when Mr. Dong-suk intervened. He struck Jin-chul, claiming Jingxuan as his girlfriend and warning him to stay away. Seizing the moment, Jingxuan concurred, stating her new relationship with Mr. Dong-suk and her move on from Jin-chul. With a broken heart, Jin-chul stood as Jingxuan and Mr. Dong-suk departed. She cried a lot, and Dong-suk calmed her down. She realized she had deep love for him. Upon his return, Dong-suk expressed a desire for Jingxuan to work at Jin-chul's company. He suggested that if Jingxuan had the power to summon him at Jin-chul's, she should do so. Otherwise, they should unite, and Dong-suk would step aside. Paradise Jewelry faced a crisis as investors withdrew, not favoring Jin-chul's new ideas. Mr. Wong pleaded with his eyes, asking to convince their designer to collaborate with them. Dong-suk conveyed this to Jingxuan, but she had previously left Jin-chul's life to assist his company. Now she was ready to re-enter his life to save his company. Mr. Wong had given her 5 million, with 1 million already spent. She requested a loan of 1 million from Dong-suk to repay Mr. Wong. Jin-chul discovered Jingxuan's readiness to work with her designs and the team, which made him very happy. Others did not understand the reason for his happiness, but it would later be revealed that the designer was Jingxuan. A minor altercation occurred between Kanao and Uncle Wong. She expressed a desire to return to Jin-chul's life, questioning why he was introducing other girls. She threatened to expose Uncle Wong's expulsion if another girl was brought into Jin-chul's life. Uncle Wong adopted a serious demeanor, surprising Kanao with his potential for violence. He warned that he would not let go of the enmity between him and Jin-chul. Jin-chul was observed to be happy, with his servants also appearing joyful. He anticipated a meeting with Jingxuan to work at his company, which brought him joy. Mr. Dong-suk brought Jingxuan back to Bangkok and provided her with a room in his traditional yet beautiful house. He stated his preference for living there as it was set up by his parents. A conversation with Jingxuan revealed her belief that a relationship with Jin-chul was impossible, citing her past as a thief and his perfection. In the office, Uncle Wong was still surprised upon seeing Jin-chul, who was eagerly awaiting the new designer. Another reason for his happiness was the discovery that Jingxuan had accepted money from his uncle for her friend Mimiko's treatment, indicating her continued love for him. Many were shocked at Jingxuan's entry into the meeting, but no objections were raised due to the board of directors' prior approval. Uncle Wong and Jingxuan had a private conversation where she explained her previous departure and current intention to manage his company before leaving again. She mentioned the repayment of 5 million to Uncle Sankla. Jin-chul announced a 3-month design project for Jingxuan, with Dong-suk hoping it would only last 1 month. He expressed a desire to spend as much time as possible with Jingxuan. Jin-chul noticed their closeness as they left the office. Jingxuan's actions were believed to be for showing Jin-chul, but Uncle Wong suspected Dong-suk was her boyfriend. Kanao made a video out of jealousy, which she discussed with Uncle Wong, who also expressed jealousy, mentioning his past love for her and her failure to win Jin-chul's heart. Uncle Wong revealed a plan to incite a conflict between Kanao and Jingxuan, aiming to remove obstacles for himself. Chun-yu was shown to have developed a gambling addiction, with his uncle being involved as well. Chun-yu returned home happily, having learned of his wife Kanao's return and having bought a ring for her. Upon entering, he became angry because of Kanao's words, and along with the stepmother, they assaulted her. Kanao had recorded the incident, planning to use it for a domestic violence case or to demand a divorce. Consequently, Dong-suk was compelled to divorce Kanao. The following day, Jingxuan was dropped off at the office by Dong-suk. Upon seeing Jin-chul, she hugged Dong-suk and pretended pretended to be in a relationship with him. Jinchul, who entered the elevator with Jingxuan, accused her of being a scammer and doubted the authenticity of her acting. He also suggested that if she had no feelings for him, his proximity should not affect her. However, Jingxuan felt dizzy and fled when he came close. Jinchul then insisted that Jingxuan work in his office. Despite her concerns about the company's image, Jinchul assured her that the team of designers would work well together. The stepmother's reporter was instructed to monitor Jingxuan and Jinchul for any close interactions. Kanao, now divorced and pregnant, did not want Chunyu to be involved with the child. She devised a plan to frame Jingxuan for theft by placing a ring in her bag. When the ring was reported missing and Jingxuan was seen entering Kanao's office on CCTV, Kanao produced the ring from Jingxuan's bag, accusing her of theft. Jingxuan defended herself, and Jinchul supported her, suggesting a police investigation and lie detector tests for both Jingxuan and Kanao. Uncle Wang intervened, suggesting they avoid involving the police to prevent media attention. He later reprimanded a senior investigator for Jinchul's infatuation with Jingxuan. Jingxuan confronted Kanao, warning her not to underestimate her. She then staged an attack on herself, blaming Kanao, which surprised everyone with her cunning. Uncle Wang decided to remove Jingxuan from Jinchul's life, giving her 3 days to leave. However, Jingxuan refused. Uncle Wang threatened her and Jinchul, showing his aggressive nature. Jingxuan fled in fear, and Jinchul followed her into an elevator, which malfunctioned. Jinchul comforted Jingxuan, and they shared a kiss just as the elevator doors opened, revealing them to onlookers. Kate, who worked for the stepmother, captured the moment, but was thwarted by Uncle Wang's assistant, who destroyed her phone and the evidence. Uncle Wang confronted Jinchul about his actions, but Jinchul declared his right to live his life as he wished. Uncle Wang's assistant was then tasked with winning over Kate to gain her allegiance. Chunyu is depicted as being addicted to gambling. Initially, relief is felt when wins occur, but loans have to be taken when losses begin. Meanwhile, Jinchul has won Jingxuan's heart again by accepting her and showing respect for her past, ready to fight the world for her love. However, Jingxuan tells him that the situation is not favorable. After taking leave, she overhears a conversation about trapping Chunyu with a loan to buy his shares and plans against Jinchul. Dong-suk confronts Jingxuan about office gossip regarding her feelings for Jinchul, to which she truthfully responds. Despite this, Dong-suk expresses indifference to the gossip. Jinchul confronts Uncle Wang, accusing him of forcing Jingxuan out of his life for the company's image. Kanao sides with Uncle Wang and speaks against Jinchul, who remains unaffected. Jingxuan confides in Dong-suk about Uncle Wang's stance against Jinchul and her resolve to help Jinchul due to her role in his accident. She begins investigating Uncle Sada's background to find his weaknesses. The assistant discusses the next move with Uncle Wang, questioning his care for Jinchul, which angers Uncle Wang. A flashback reveals a conflict between Jinchul's parents, leading to his mother's suicide. In the present, Jingxuan insists on leaving with a van sent by Jinchul, which takes her to his house instead of the office. Jinchul reveals his knowledge of Jingxuan's actions and offers her a job as his assistant. Dong-suk, who has followed the van, calls Jingxuan, who hides her location. Uncle Wang, suspecting something, calls Jingxuan, who threatens to expose his past if he threatens her. Uncle Wang expresses anger, and he recalls that Jingxuan might have overheard some words. Uncle Wang states that Jingxuan should not be alive if she heard anything. Jinchul shows family photos to Jingxuan at his home. Jingxuan notices a difference in surnames, and Jinchul explains that although there is no blood relation, a familial bond exists due to their father's past work relationship. A college photo reveals that Jinchul's mother and Uncle Wang were college mates, and Uncle Wang had introduced Jinchul's parents to each other. A bracelet belonging to Jingxuan gets stuck in Jinchul's wristwatch, resembling tied hands. This gives Jinchul an idea for a new jewelry design, which Jingxuan suggests should be heart-shaped instead of circular. Meanwhile, Chunyu is kidnapped by a loan shark while gambling, and out of fear, transfers shares as part of Uncle Wang's plan to acquire as many shares as possible. After dropping her off at home, Jinchul offered to move Jingxuan out of Dong-suk's house. Jingxuan raised suspicions to Dong-suk about Uncle Wang and Jinchul's mother and secretly saved a photo on her mobile. She pondered Uncle Wang's secret. Jinchul was surprised at home when Kanao visited, needing his signature on documents. Kanao mentioned happiness with Jingxuan and offered a drink to celebrate their love, which, unknown to Jinchul, contained a hormone-disrupting medicine. After consuming the drink, Jinchul's health deteriorated, and Kanao, attempting to seduce him, approached him. However, Jinchul chose love over lust, rejected Kanao, and demanded she never return. Jinchul requested coffee from his housekeeper, into which Kanao secretly mixed sleeping pills. After drinking the coffee, Jinchul fell asleep, and Kanao spent the night in the guest room, claiming there was a power issue at her house. The next morning, Kanao feigned confusion about the events of the previous night. Early in the morning, Jingxuan saw a van and Jinchul's sports car at Dong-suk's house. Jinchul encouraged Jingxuan's confidence and beauty for her design presentation. Mr. Dong-suk voiced concerns to Jin-chul about Uncle Wang's enmity towards Jing-xuan. Both Jin-chul and Dong-suk admired Jing-xuan's beauty when she appeared ready. Jin-chul shared the truth about the previous night's events with Jing-xuan, who felt happy and agreed to keep their relationship unofficial and private. Uncle Wang suspected Kanao of being pregnant and laughed off her attempt to cause trouble when she encountered Jing-xuan. Jing-xuan's design presentation was successful, and the board members approved her design. Jing-xuan stealthily took Chun-yu's phone and checked his call history for interactions with the loan shark. The scene ended with Jin-chul questioning Jing-xuan about the reason for taking Chun-yu's phone. As Chun-yu arrived, Jing-xuan stealthily placed his mobile phone in his pocket. Subsequently, Jing-xuan informed Jin-chul that her 5% shares had been sold, and she was investigating the buyer's identity, requesting him not to interrogate her. Upon checking, Jin-chul discovered that indeed, 5% of the company's shares were missing. In the meantime, Dong-suk uncovered that the German boss, a loan shark associated with Chun-yu, was a gangster acting on Uncle Wang's words. Dong-suk advised Jing-xuan to distance herself from these dangerous individuals. Filled with rage, Jin-chul confronted Chun-yu with evidence of his share sale. This led to Chun-yu's mother slapping him, and Chun-yu confessing his love for Kanao, admitting to his gambling addiction after Kanao's departure. He pledged to reform if Kanao returned. The stepmother, distressed by the comparison to Jin-chul, lamented her parenting. Jin-chul, who had previously denied Kanao entry, now welcomed her due to her pregnancy. He rejected her advances, suggesting she return to Bako, who truly cared for her, and declared his life complete with Jing-xuan. Kanao's anger led to a confrontation with Uncle Wang, who denied disclosing information to Jin-chul. Meanwhile, the stepmother met with the gangster boss, who promptly informed Uncle Wang. Kanao, overhearing their conversation, attempted to blackmail them with her knowledge of their plans to take over Paradise Jewelry. Uncle Wang countered by offering her a partnership in shares. Kanao then plotted to frame Jing-xuan for theft by involving Sung-woo, Jing-xuan's ex-boyfriend. However, Sung-woo, a scammer himself, recorded Kanao's proposal and revealed it to Jing-xuan. Sung-woo expressed remorse for his past actions and sought Jing-xuan's help for his daughter's medical needs, which Jing-xuan agreed to support. Dong-suk, witnessing Jing-xuan's generosity, confessed his admiration for her, despite her lack of reciprocal feelings. After resigning, Kanao vowed to return more powerful, while Jing-xuan exposed Kanao's scheme to her. A physical altercation ensued, disrupting Jin-chul's meeting and negatively impacting the shareholders' perception. Jin-chul learned of Kanao's actions and was furious, but Jing-xuan managed to pacify him. Uncle Wang dismissed Kanao as ineffective, failing to execute any task successfully. In the presence of Kanao, Uncle Wang remains silent, but reveals he has a plan for Jing-xuan. He instructs Kanao to lead Jing-xuan to the stairs, where his assistant will take over. Kanao approaches Jing-xuan, informing her of Uncle Wang's intention to seize control of the company, and suggesting that if Jing-xuan wishes to assist Jin-chul, she should follow Kanao. Unbeknownst to them, Uncle Wang plans to eliminate both girls simultaneously. Kanao, eager to expose Uncle Sakura's secrets, summons Jing-xuan to the fire exit stairs. There, she waits for him. Soo-hyuk, Uncle Wang's assistant, undergoes a significant change in appearance. As Jing-xuan heads towards Kanao, Uncle Wang intercepts her with a pretext to prevent her from meeting Kanao as part of his scheme. He has tasked Soo-hyuk with eliminating Kanao. Quickly realizing the plot to frame Jing-xuan for murder, Kanao attempts to record evidence on her phone. However, Soo-hyuk anticipates this, and upon capturing Kanao, deletes the video before pushing her down the stairs, resulting in severe injury. When Jing-xuan arrives, she finds Kanao's lifeless body, drenched in blood. Kate also appears, tasked with framing Jing-xuan for the murder. She smears blood on Jing-xuan's hands, and then Uncle Wang arrives, prompting a call to the police. Upon the police's arrival, along with Jin-chul, everyone is shocked by the scene. During the interrogation by the police, Kate claims her innocence, stating that Jing-xuan was the murderer of Kanao. She alleges that she spent her time with Uncle Wang, who later denies remembering any such conversation. Jing-xuan, not easily fooled, realizes she has been framed and trapped without evidence to prove her innocence. However, Jin-chul expresses his complete trust in her, despite the apparent situation. Jing-xuan, in distress, contacts Sung-woo, who advises her to recall any abnormality at the crime scene. She remembers Kanao's tight grip on her phone, hinting at potential evidence within it. Meanwhile, Chun-yu, heartbroken and betrayed, attacks Jing-xuan in a fit of rage upon seeing her after the murder. Kate's actions are revealed to be under duress due to blackmail by Soo-hyuk, who possesses incriminating video evidence. Jin-chul, suspecting Kate and Soo-hyuk's association, is determined to retrieve Kanao's phone, which he believes holds proof of Jing-xuan's innocence. Chun-yu's discovery of Kanao's pregnancy intensifies his grief and desire for vengeance. At home, Jin-chul accessed Kanao's drive using a password she had shared, uncovering a video that showed Soo-hyuk committing the murder. This revelation shocked Jin-chul, especially when Uncle Wong, whom he had trusted, appeared to console him, only to reveal himself as a stranger capable of murder. Jingxun was released on bail due to a lack of evidence, and Jinchul presented her with the video, implicating Uncle Wong and Soo-yuk. Jingxun warned of Uncle Wong's dangerous ambitions to seize the company. A plan was devised, involving Sungwoo, to monitor Kate through a recorder placed in her phone. Jingxun wished to confront Chunyu and clear her name, but he, consumed by anger, attempted to shoot her. Jinchul and stepmom intervened, showing Chunyu the video that exonerated Jingxun. This moment allowed Jingxuan and aunt to openly communicate, resolving long-standing misunderstandings created by Uncle Wong. Sungwoo's recorder captured Soo-yuk discussing Uncle Wong's share acquisitions, revealing his intentions to Jingxuan, aunt, and Jinchul. The truth about Uncle Wong united stepmom and Jinchul, who decided to combine their shares to overpower him. Chunyu, unaware of their alliance, sold more shares to Uncle Wong, who mistakenly believed he would gain control. However, Kate, visiting Uncle Wong, unknowingly leaked his plans to Jingxuan. An urgent board meeting was called the following day. Uncle Wong believed he had the shares to easily become the chairman, but Jinchul stated that it was not possible. In the meantime, stepmom arrived, declaring that all her shares' votes were given to Jinchul, making him the chairperson. This was a test by stepmom to see if Jinchul was ready. She was willing to make him the chairman. Uncle Wong was surprised by this unity between stepmom and Jinchul, which he witnessed for the first time. Embarrassed and angry, Uncle Wong left for Soo-yuk. Soo-yuk had always considered Uncle Wong his godfather since the day he helped him take revenge for his father's murder. Soo-yuk expressed his readiness to do anything for Uncle Wong, even at the cost of his life. Meanwhile, Jinchul and his stepmom had settled their differences and were planning the company's future. However, Chunyu was consumed with thoughts of revenge against Kanao. Chunyu followed Soo-yuk and attacked him, accusing him of murder and warning that Uncle Wong would be caught, as Jinchul planned to show the incriminating video to the police. After the attack, Chunyu fled, and Jinchul and Uncle Wong arrived at the scene. Uncle Wong decided to take Soo-yuk to the hospital in his car, fearing the arrival of an ambulance. However, Soo-yuk refused to go to the hospital and instead laid a trap for Uncle Wong, striking him with a stick and rendering him unconscious. Soo-yuk then released a video confessing to the murder, claiming it was done in a fit of passion after being rejected for a date, thus removing any evidence against Uncle Wong. Upon regaining consciousness, Uncle Wong learned of these events and was filled with sadness, having shared a close and loyal bond with Soo-yuk for many years. Uncle Wong contemplated revealing the truth as he believed the time had come. The next day, he visited Jinchul at his home with childhood photos and revealed their past. Uncle Wong confessed that he and Jinchul's mother had been in love, but she had married Jinchul's father, who later mistreated her despite her significant financial contribution to his company. Uncle Wong revealed that he was Jinchul's real father and suggested a DNA test for confirmation. Jinchul, shocked by the revelation, left without acknowledging Uncle Wong. Jinchul was devastated, having believed someone else was his real father. He called Jingxuan to share the news but requested to be alone. Jingxuan, suspecting Uncle Wong was lying, discussed her doubts with Dong-suk. Upon examining photos, Jingxuan noticed a love bracelet on Uncle Wong, indicating a past relationship with another woman. She met with Uncle Wong's ex-girlfriend, who confirmed that Uncle Wong could never be a father, as corroborated by another woman who had almost married him. Jingxuan, relieved to discover the truth, went to show Jinchul the reports. However, Uncle Wong, upon seeing Jingxuan at his house, became furious, snatched the papers, and admitted to not being Jinchul's father and having murdered Jinchul's real father. The situation escalated as Uncle Wong attacked Jingxuan, determined to take over the company and prevent anyone from interfering with his plans for Jinchul. Jingxuan orchestrated Jinchul's timely arrival. Uncle Wong's suspicions were confirmed upon witnessing Jinchul's arrival, which was exactly what Jingxuan had intended. A confrontation ensued, during which Uncle Wong struck Jinchul on the head, rendering him unconscious. Jingxuan seized the opportunity to escape, but Uncle Wong pursued her, leading to a tense game of hide-and-seek. During the chase, Jingxuan managed to leave a clue written in condensed milk before Uncle Wong overpowered and kidnapped her. Meanwhile, Dong-suk, who had been unreachable due to his shooting schedule, returned to find Jingxuan's messages and immediately sensed trouble. He discovered Jinchul's house in disarray and Jinchul missing. Eventually, they found Jinchul and freed him, and the search for Jingxuan began. A clue led them to realize that Jingxuan's phone contained a tracker, which they used to locate her. Sungwoo assisted in the live tracking, and both Jinchul and Dong-suk rushed to the location. At a secluded spot, Uncle Wong threatened Jingxuan's life, but she cleverly engaged him in conversation to buy time and free herself. As Jinchul and Dong-suk closed in on their location, a struggle ensued between Jingxuan and Uncle Wong. Just as Uncle Wong was about to overpower Jingxuan, Jinchul and Dong-suk arrived and subdued him. The police then arrested Uncle Wong. Following the ordeal, Jinchul sought to clear Jingxuan's name, by showcasing her kindness and the positive impact she had on her village. The media portrayed her as a hero who, along with Jinchul, had saved the villagers from a loan shark. Jingshuan's friend Mimiko's engagement brought further joy, while Chunyu faced the consequences of his actions by surrendering to the police. In court, Uncle Wang showed no remorse for his crimes, leaving Jinchul dissatisfied. The story concluded with Jingshuan moving out of Dongsuk's house as he prepared to go abroad. Jingshuan and Jinchul's relationship strengthened, and they embarked on a new project in France, meeting a significant investor. Upon their return, they were celebrated with a party, and Jinchul revealed a traditional house he had built for Jingshuan, fulfilling her dream. The couple hinted at sharing good news soon, and the drama ended with Jingshuan expressing gratitude to Jinchul for changing her life for the better. Jinchul proposed to Jingshuan under the moonlight, symbolizing their inseparable bond, and she accepted, culminating in a happy ending. Thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye for now. Stay awesome.